Hey, I haven't done a longer video in a while, so I figured I'd give it a shot. I wanted to talk about simplicity and how important a simple life can be. Simple things, simple pleasures. It's imperative to just simplify things. Don't get too complicated. Stay away from stuff that's negative and draining. And I'm not going to be one of those people that tell you to keep your vibration high, because that's as much of a fallacy as anything else is. You are naturally that. You're not going to heighten your vibration. You're just going to stay away from the things that make you go back and do old things in ways that aren't conducive, right, to your development, to your way of being, to your existence. So a simple life is a cup of tea. It's making the tea. It's boiling the water. It's being very much present while you're doing whatever it is you're doing. It's simple conversations with simple, easy people. People that aren't talking about politics, that aren't going out of their way to maintain the system and the status quo. It's a simple diet. It's a simple exercise routine. It's a simple relationship. A simple car, a simple house, simple possessions. Really cut it down to what you use. How much of your house is full of things from 20 or 30 years ago because they have, some type of sentimental value? And if you're a younger person, how many things do you have that you really don't need, that you really don't use, that you really don't even want? How many times do you buy clothes and never wear them? Simplify it. Get it down to nothing. Get it down to, 4 or 5 pairs of pants, 4 or 5 shirts, and just maintain that. We can declutter the entirety of our existence pretty easily. You're not going to need those things. We're all going to the same place. Holding on to stuff doesn't make stuff more valuable. In fact, it's quite the contrary. Have you ever tried to sell stuff on like Facebook Marketplace and nobody wants it, and you put it in there for even cheaper, and then you put it down for free and they still don't want it? The thing is we're very spoiled. And especially in American society, we're very spoiled. We want the biggest, brightest, shiniest things. And those things never satisfy. They never make your life happier. The new relationship doesn't make your life any happier than the old relationship. If you're not working on your traumas, if you're not working on your past pains that bring negative energies into your existence, you're just going to repeat the same thing over and over again until you learn the mistake anyway. So if you have crappy relationships now, the next one's going to be crappy as well. Nobody's going to love you the way you love you anyway. And I'll tell you that there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And that gold is presence. And when you can get more and more present with yourself by doing the shadow work and unraveling the traumas that you've endured, and realizing that you just did the best you could when you had the chance to do it, and you didn't know any more than you were able to in order to make that situation better. But maybe now you do. Maybe you care about yourself enough not to get into an abusive relationship. Maybe you're in love with yourself enough now to where you're not going to take the crappy job that you know is just going to eat you alive just for a few bucks. We always want more. And I'm telling you, more, it's still not enough. Less is way more than enough. The less you want, the less you crave, the less you desire, the less you attach to things, the more you are. I mean, it could get to the point where you become Lao Tzu and you sit in the woods somewhere in a little hut and make tea all day long. And you can find bliss right there. And so I'm not telling people not to get in relationships and not to enjoy yourself and have a cookie. What I'm saying is less is more. When you take things out of your life that just don't do anything, they're not making you happy. I know people that are compulsive shoppers, and they just can't not go to the discount areas to try to find a thing that they'll never want or need after they buy it. They just want the hit of dopamine to have the thing. My son asked me a while back, because he's 7, and so he's into this idea that Lamborghinis are great. And I said, they're horrible cars. They're horrible, just terrible. He goes, well, why are they so expensive then? I said, because they're very fast. They're extremely fast. They're considered luxurious, and they're extremely expensive. And people use it as a trophy to show how wealthy they are. And he goes, well, what would you do if you got a Lamborghini? I said, I'd sell it. It'd be the first damn thing I do. I might take it around the block once just to see how quick it goes, and then I'd sell it, and I'd buy a Toyota. I mean, that's the reality. The simple pleasures in life, simple, easy, quality things. You don't need 12 jackets. You just need one for when it's cold and one for when it's not so cold, and maybe something when it's kind of like a spring type day, right? I mean, that's where we're at. You don't need, I guarantee you don't need 90% of what you have. And I'm in no way romanticizing poverty, not at all. What I'm romanticizing is the need for nothing. Because when you have very, very little willingly, you have everything you need. And then what you would spend on that stuff, you just sock that away into your savings account. Do I really need to eat 3, 4, 5 meals a day? You probably don't. Nobody does. I mean, we come from a long line of hunter-gatherers that starved it out for days on end. We're pretty resilient. And you can do that. Or not. That's fine too. What I'm saying, though, is the simplicity of it is wonderful. It's beautiful. Just start trimming away everything that doesn't belong there. And I'll bet you will be a happier person. Because then you get to have really solid, meaningful conversations with other really solid, meaningful people. People that are worried about spirit. They're worried about, not worried, but they're concerned with spirit. They're concerned with source. They're concerned with their overall health. They're concerned with the health of the world in general. And when you have those really great conversations with really great people, they open your eyes to other really great people and great things, and you just keep going in that direction. And then you're not watching the horror movies. You're not listening to the abusive lyrics of the next song that's, a top 10 hit or whatever. You're not playing violent video games. You're not worrying about, what the guy down the street's doing. You are worried about your peace and your presence. I've been happier alone in a room than I've been in a crowd of people. And that's not to say that there aren't wonderful, beautiful things to go, like amusement parks and botanical gardens and the ocean. There are great, wonderful, beautiful things that we can take advantage of. What I'm saying is, if you went to the beach every day, it wouldn't be as great as going there a couple times a year. It wouldn't be as special. I live up in the mountains of Southern California, and it's beautiful. And I'm very appreciative of it every day. But I know a lot of people that live up here that are just sick and tired of it. It snows and it's horrible, and then the roads are crooked. I haven't gotten that way, thankfully. I really love it in this area. But anything that's consistently up your ass, for lack of a better term, every day of your life, you just don't take it as seriously. It doesn't resonate as the way it used to. And you take it for granted. You really do. If you ate steak every day, Steak isn't going to taste so good after a week or two. If you eat cake every day, it's not going to taste so good after a week or two. So get rid of your belief systems, and then throw away all your other stuff too, because you probably don't need it anyway. Hopefully this helps. If it does, drop a comment. If it doesn't, drop a comment. Whatever. As always, much love.